everyone, thanks for joining me today. We're going to be doing a bridesmaid tutorial, but this look can certainly be used for a bridal look or any other special occasion if you like. The colors are pretty intense. It is a neutral smoky look, so if you want to use different colors you certainly can. So I'm going to start off with putting a face primer all over her face, avoiding the eye area. We will be using an eye primer for that. And of course make sure you blend it down the neck. Now we're putting on some foundation with a damp beauty blender. And I love this beauty blender. It really allows me to get into some smaller places. And make sure you blend that down the neck as well. Another nice thing about the beauty blender is after the first layer dries, you can go back and kind of build up some of the coverage. She needed some of that around her nose and around her chin area, just with some blemishes. So it's one nice thing about the beauty blender, because it's damp, it doesn't put on the foundation so cakey. So now I'm putting on some concealer underneath her eyes in a triangular shape, and then of course using the corner of the beauty blender to blend that out. Anytime you use concealer underneath the eyes in particular, use a high definition powder to set it so it doesn't crease throughout the day. I'm using an e.l.f. one here. It's only $3. It's awesome. And then I am using a face powder to just set all of the foundation all over her face. Make sure you blend this down the neck as well. After I went through and set her foundation, I did want to go back and touch up some of the blemishes that she had, so you'll see me putting some concealer on here. This is just an added step to give some extra coverage. You'll see a little bit of redness around her nose. I'm trying to take that away with some of this concealer. And so I did use that beauty blender to just blend it in again, and then of course set it with powder. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use blush. And this is a really soft pink color. It looks really good on a lot of lighter skin tones. Nothing too dramatic. And next I went on to contouring. I'm using a Hoola bronzer here. Just going underneath her cheeks, along the sides of the face and her forehead, and then underneath her chin as well, just to give the face a little bit of dimension. Sometimes I feel like doing a little bit of contouring allows the foundation to really work with the person's face so it doesn't look so flat. Now I'm actually doing a highlighter, and this is e.l.f. It's actually considered a blush, but it's so light that I use it for a highlighter. And now we're doing some eye primer. This is also e.l.f. This just allows the shadows to be really intense and last throughout the day. You can blend it out with your finger or a brush if you prefer. I feel that a finger just blends it out really well. Alright, I am putting tape on her face, and you will see why once we get done with the shadows. This just allows me to be a little bit messy. I didn't have a lot of time to really do her makeup really precise, so that tape allows me to just kind of be messy on the outer corners. So the first thing that I did there was I applied a shimmery shade underneath her brow, and now I'm applying a softer brown in her crease, just going back and forth using windshield wiper motions. And you'll see on here, I'm actually going on top of the tape, and so that's what allows me to be messy, is it doesn't allow that color to actually go beyond the tape. So it's really clean once you take it off. Now I'm taking a soft shimmery shade on her lid, and when you're putting this on the lid, make sure you apply it in patting motions, not swiping, just because you want that color to be intense, but not so much that you just blend all of the color away. Now I'm taking a darker brown in the outer V, on both sides of course, and I actually cut out a lot of the blending. So when you're doing your own makeup or someone else's makeup, just make sure you really take a lot of time blending, just because I probably sat there doing each step blending maybe a good 5 minutes total. So I'm taking another color here. This is a dark charcoal color going out to that same outer V and just putting that, intensifying the corner of the eye there. And you'll notice here, after I take off the tape, you'll see a pretty sharp line. And so you definitely want to blend that out so it's not quite so harsh. I am taking a brush that doesn't actually have anything on it just to blend it out. And the next step I'm doing here is I'm taking a shimmery shade, the same shade that we put on the lid, and I'm just going along the outer 2/3 of the eye, underneath the lashes. This just kind of makes it, gives it some shape and doesn't allow, it's not quite smoky, it's not dark enough to be smoky, but it does give an added touch. So what I just did there is I'm using a light shimmery shade, the same one that we used for the brow bone, and I'm going underneath her eye and then also in the inner corner on top. So I'm pretty much done with the shadows here, and I'm taking that same HD powder just to kind of brush out any fallout. There really wasn't much at all, but I am also going back just to set her foundation a little bit more. It was starting to set and starting to not get oily, but I just wanted her foundation to really last the whole day, so I went back to places that I felt like might get oily over the day. Alright, so here I'm taking a gel liner and doing a liner on top of her lashes, and I set it with that same charcoal. You don't actually see it, but I'm setting it with a charcoal powder, eyeshadow powder. And I did do a little bit of a wing. We didn't go quite so dramatic, but she did want a wing. I'm taking that same gel and I'm actually applying it on a liner, and then I'm actually doing her waterline there and setting it with a charcoal eyeshadow underneath as well. You won't be able to see it here, but I'm doing the same thing, and you really want to push the brush up into the lashes. You see it here. That allows this look to be really smoky, and it sets that liner that you put in the waterline so it doesn't run throughout the day. And so now here she's putting on some mascara. We opted out to do false lashes. She didn't want to do false lashes, so she's doing both her upper and her lower lashes here. So I'm taking a light brown color that matches her eyebrows. This is just an eyeshadow color, and I'm taking a small brush to just fill those in. Alright, on to lip liner. So this is a Mary Kay lip liner in neutral. It's a soft rose color, and I'm just not only lining her lips, but I'm actually filling them in. I find that if you actually fill them in with the same lip liner, whatever lip color they use during the day lasts really long. So you'll see me doing that here. I also had her put on some lip balm before we actually did any of her makeup, so that when we got to this step, her lips would be nice and soft and not cracked or anything like that. So once I'm done filling in the lips with the lip liner, I'm going to go on to a Rimmel lip gloss, and this is a matte, long-lasting color. It's awesome. There's one side that's the color, and then the other side is a gloss to make it nice and soft on your lips. So I'm just filling in her lips here with that Rimmel color. And after I'm done with that, I'm just going to go back with some more concealer on that blemish area just to make sure it lasts all day, and I set it with an HD powder, the same HD powder. And the last step that I do is I set everything with a setting spray so it'll last all day and kind of marry everything together. So that's pretty much it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom and the like button as well. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to look out for my next video. Thanks everyone!